I think we're on. Okay, Dawn just texted me. We're working. Yay!
Okay.
Major technology issues today, folks, but we got it. Thank you so much for your patience. If you hopped off before, I hope you've hopped back on. Good morning, friends. Oh my goodness. So we had struggles with Facebook Live, allowing us to add a friend and do our interviews. So we backed up 10 yards and punted, and Kelly, God bless her, figured out that I was skipping a step in the directions to go from Zoom. So now we know we can do a Zoom and live it into Facebook. So we're here. Thank you, Kelly, for your patience and for your help in getting us started. Okay, folks, welcome to Wednesday of our mothering week, where we want to just love on you guys and help you find solutions to some of the problems that you might be having, and just kind of have a really fun week together. So we've been sharing a little bit about people's journeys, and today I get the best pleasure ever, because I adore this lady, of interviewing a good friend of mine, someone that I actually just met a few years ago when we both started our healing journey together. We met because of our journey, and it's one of the, other than my own personal healing, it's probably the greatest blessing that I've had on this journey, and that is the friends that I've made. I mean, the women and men that I've met have been the greatest support system through all of this, and I know will be part of that for the rest of my life. So I love sharing their stories with you guys, and especially someone as powerful as Kelly's, because truly she is a better mom today than she was just a few years ago. And hopefully you'll hear some things from her that will help you make some changes if you so desire. But anyway, let's get to telling you a little bit about Kelly. Kelly is a mom of 3 children. They're aged 15, 12, and 10. She's married to her college sweetheart, so they've been together, about 18 years, I think.
Yep.
And
as of Monday.
Say it again?
As of Monday. Monday was our anniversary.
Oh, that's great. Well, congratulations. 18 years is impressive. And Kelly is also a special education teacher in the Virginia Beach public school system, so she works outside the home. She has 3 children that she's juggling their schedules. And so I'm just super, super excited that she's here and she's sharing with us today. So I wanted to just ask her a few questions. And of course, if you guys have anything, you can always add them in the comments. We're not really sure how that's going to work this time, since this is a new format. So if we don't answer them, we will for sure come back after we finish and answer those for you. So anyway, Kelly, can you do me a favor and start by just sharing with us a little bit about what your life was like just a few years ago? Probably, I think it's been like 3 or 4 years now.
On the outside, it was a perfect life. I had 3 beautiful children and a husband. I had a steady job with steady income. We had a house that we were living in. We had cars. Everything, looks ideal. But on the inside, it was a struggle. Every single day was a struggle. I just had a lot of difficulty feeling happy, and so I was just always battling my emotions, always battling the urge to crawl into my bed and hide under the covers, and to not cry all day was an accomplishment.
Wow. And that's such a great example of how we don't know what somebody's going through, because you can put that face on. I think we've probably all seen the commercial with the lady walking around with a little paddle with the smiley face on it, and she would look really sad, and then she would pass someone that she knows and she'd put it up in front of her face, and it's such a facade. And I think people forget that oftentimes there's so much more going on than what meets the eye, and you're a really great example of that. I don't know if there's anything else you want to share about how that affected your family, or if not, what did you do, or how did you change things?
Well, I think the example you give of that commercial is very true. I feel like I did a really good job hiding it. I would function at school and everything, but when I came home, I just needed to be alone. It was very hard to have the energy to want to play with the kids, or have the mood and mindset to play with the kids. By the time I got home from work, I was exhausted from holding that smile on my face all day. So I'm not sure if this is what you meant, but my friend started posting about how great she was feeling, and I was approaching 40, and I was like, I'm ready to take care of myself. And for me, that meant lose weight and look good on the outside, which obviously is a thing with me. I can look good on the outside and not necessarily feel good on the inside. So I decided to give it a try, and I liked it, and I lost some weight, and so that made me feel like I had, chosen the right thing to try, and that my friend was right in having me try it. And I just didn't realize, what was to come from it down in the future.
Right. And that's the thing, is that many of us started anything we do because we wanted to change the way we looked. That is a priority for a lot of us. I'm a chiropractor, and I often say to people, if your spine were on your face, you would take better care of it. And that's just the way we are as a culture as well. So it sounds like that was, though, an introduction to something that ended up being a whole lot more for you and maybe changed a lot more. Can you go into that a little bit more?
It was definitely not what I expected. I used to drink sodas all day long. That's like what I needed as a pick-me-up midday. When I would get home at night, I'd be, like I said, when I got home from work, I was so tired, so I needed another Coke. Then with dinner, I just liked the taste, so I wanted to have another one. And then there would be days, especially on the weekend where you're home all day, where I would maybe even have a fourth one. And I knew that, soda wasn't supposed to be good for you, but it was a no-calorie drink, so what harm was it really doing? And so one of the first things I noticed is that I didn't drink a soda, like not one, all day. And I said to my husband, I was like, this is just weird. Like, what's happening? And so I kind of liked that. And it was kind of nice not to have to spend all that money on soft drinks. Like then I, could spend it on something different that I wanted to buy. And then I started sleeping better, and I just started feeling better. Like went for a run. We have this one product that has magnesium. It's supposed to help oxygenate everything. When I'd go for a run, I actually felt like I could go farther and not be as winded. It was so weird. I was like, this whole thing is so weird. This is not what I thought I was signing up for, but it was in such a good way. And then it took a little bit longer, but I noticed I really think it's the probiotics. I started taking a probiotic that we offer, and my mood started feeling better, and I wasn't getting sick. And when you work in a school setting, like there's just constantly germs. Little kids, they don't necessarily know how to blow their nose or wipe their nose or wash their hands really well, so I'm constantly exposed to germs. And I just wasn't getting sick.
Wow.
I just wasn't going to the doctor, and that was amazing. And again, another thing that then I'm not having to spend my money on each month. And then I happened to run out of some medication that I was taking, and I still felt okay. And it was medicine that I'd been on forever because I have felt this way for a long time, and I sought help starting about 20 years ago. So I'd been on medication for a long time, and I happened to run out, and I felt okay. And that blew my mind, because there was never a day where I imagined that I would not need medicine to help me get through the day. And then the other thing I noticed is that I actually felt happy. I could smile. I could put a smile on my face, and I could let you think everything's okay, but I didn't really feel it. It was just something that I wore, and I didn't really laugh, even with the kids. Like I could laugh if they did something silly, but my heart never really felt it, if that makes any sense. And now I could laugh again, and that was huge. And it's such a weird feeling. And even now, like that started maybe like 3 years ago that I started to feel that way. But even now, when I laugh, it almost takes me back. Like what is this feeling? What is this joy that I feel? It's just so unbelievable, and nothing I never thought would happen to me. I thought I would be on medicine for the rest of my life, and I thought that I would hide those emotions for the rest of my life, and it still surprises me, and it's still such a blessing every single time that I feel that emotion and that I can laugh.
I mean, it actually is making me feel like just overwhelmed to hear somebody say that it was a feeling that they hadn't felt for probably 20 years. And it's almost like a PTSD thing where you aren't expecting, and you go back to that place every once in a while, and you're actually surprised when you can actually feel the joy or feel the happiness. Whereas before it was just a matter of going through the motions. You know, a lot of us in healthcare talk about non-scale victories. You know, people want to lose that weight, so they gauge their success based on pounds lost or even maybe inches lost. But we talk a lot about the non-scale victories of getting healthy. And you kind of said it best when you said, you know, I think you would call those non-scale victories blessings, because they've changed your life in so many ways, physically and emotionally. So if somebody's struggling like you were, because I know a lot of moms are maybe not officially diagnosed or on medications, but they may come home at the end of the day and they're just exhausted, or they don't have the energy to smile. You know, they just don't have the happiness that they feel like they should have being a mom, or maybe they're not even a mom. There's lots of women on this group that are fur baby moms, or they're grandmoms, or they are just wives who come home and they're just not their self. What would you suggest to them? Where's a good place? I mean, you kind of found your journey accidentally, but in retrospect, what would you suggest to them as where you would start, or what you would do if you were to do it all over again?
I think if there's only one product that you feel that you could add to your regimen right now, it would be a probiotic. I think probiotics are key for so many different issues that so many people are experiencing in today's world. And I really feel like that's what started to make things turn around for me. I didn't know before getting into these products that gut health was tied to things like sleep and tied to things like mood. I had no idea. I thought it was in my brain and there was something wrong with my brain. And turns out it's because I probably was drinking 4 sodas a day and then following that with some chocolate, and then, you know, just not eating a healthy diet. And that just didn't do good things for my gut. So I really feel like the probiotics are what started me on the right path. I do think there are other things that I use now that help support that, but I do feel that probiotics are what changed my life, to be honest with you.
That just sounds spicy.
But also, another thing that I found that I wasn't really looking for is when I joined this group, I found a lot of people that I never would have met before, which is incredible, but they kind of showed me this thing called personal growth. And I think that no day is ever perfect. There are going to be times where we struggle for whatever reason. There are going to be times where it is hard to feel happy or put a smile on your face just because things at work were really hard, or you had a personal loss, or, you know, just something that does make it difficult.
Sure.
But the thing that I've noticed is that because of the work that I've also done for myself through reading and listening to podcasts and talking amongst this group that we have, I still very easily fall back into my old ways of, oh, it was a horrible day, I have so much to do, I got nothing done. But now I can more easily stop myself and say, okay, this isn't the path I want to go down. Let's take a look at everything I did accomplish.
Wow.
Right now it's really difficult because I'm trying to teach from home, and I'm trying to help my own children learn from home, and I'm still trying to maintain the household and the food and the groceries and the cleaning, and it's overwhelming. And at the end of the day, there's always this long list of things I did not get done, and I keep getting down on myself about that. And in the past, I wouldn't have been able to get over that.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been very focused there, and now I feel like I can say, yes, I have that long list. Yes, it is overwhelming, but here are the things that I did accomplish today. And so I think that along with the healing that's happened inside, I think those two things together have just shown me a different way of living.
Mm-hmm. I think that you've very clearly demonstrated that you have to have many tools in your tool belt. that it's not a one size fits all, that it's not one tool that will cure or help with anything, that it really is community, it's personal development, it's gut health, it's maybe positive affirmations. I love that you listen to podcasts. I love them too. I walk my dog every day, and that's what I do is I listen to podcasts. But I love how you've changed your mindset from what did I not get done to what did I get done, and the rest of it will get done. That's just a huge shift for someone who struggled for so long, getting through the day. So I just applaud you for that, because that's a life lesson that so many of us need. And you hit on something very well when you brought up the fact that things are so different right now. And that's really why this page was birthed, was that we started as a 3-day immunity talk. Basically just wanted to help people to help build their immune system through a variety of tools, because we knew that during these crazy times, people had a desire to learn that. And we found that the community really embraced each other and engaged and was really just thirsty for more information. So we decided to keep it going, and celebrating moms this week, it was a great way for us to kind of share some of our tools and challenges that we've been through, to kind of give people hope, to say, look, this is where we were. And it's really very scientifically based. I mean, there's over 17,000 peer-reviewed journal articles that connect the gut to health issues, all kinds of stuff, autoimmune diseases, migraines, anxiety, depression, and other mood disorders. Just, of course, the bowel issues that people struggle with every day. I just think it's amazing that it's not better known, and I applaud people like you who share your story so that more people will know and hopefully find those tools so that they can live a better life. So tell me, you are on a normal day, not during pandemics, but you do work outside the home. Is there some kind of a way that you balance that, or is there any tips for moms who work outside the home that you would give to them to try to make life a little easier? Especially because, like, you have 3 very active kiddos. You're going in, I know your lifestyle. You go in a lot of different directions.
Yeah, I think, well, first of all, I just want to touch on something that you had kind of mentioned. But one of the things that I appreciate about a group like this, not only the information, but hearing the stories, because it's very easy to feel alone, and it's very easy to imagine that you're the only one that feels this way, or that is going through these things, or that is struggling. And because I know that that's how I felt, and sometimes I still do, because it's hard to share with somebody that you're not perfect at something, or that you don't have it all figured out. And so I feel like it helps to hear other women's stories, or even other men's stories, of just so that I know that I'm not the only one. And then I feel more comfortable reaching out to that person too and saying, hey, let's talk about this. Let's see if we can work through this together. For working parents, I think it's just really tough.
Yeah.
That it's kind of, there's different challenges at every stage. It used to be that the kids required so much supervision when they were 2 and 3 years old, but they would go to bed early. And now it's, that they don't need as much supervision. Like, they can get their homework done, or they can play with a friend, but they're going to stay up as late as you do. So There's no time really for a break. So the things that I've done for myself, I've found audiobooks and podcasts, and I think that those help, because then I can listen to those things on the way to work, or on the way to sports, or while I'm waiting for one of the kids to finish up their gymnastics, or soccer, or tennis, or jiu-jitsu, or one of the other million things that we're doing. And then I also have found that it really helps if I go for a walk. Dog likes if I take her for a walk, and I like to just have that peace and quiet outdoors for 30 minutes. And it's good because then I'm getting my steps in too. So I feel like I'm hitting a lot of points by taking the dog for a walk. And it's not always easy to fit in. My son is in an academy program here, and when we were in school, we were having to get up at 5:30 to get him on the bus. And then, we were just going. Then I would, get the other kids up. Then I would go to work. Then we'd come home from work and go to sports. And it was a long day. So what we did is got up at 5:30, got my eldest son off. Then we would take a dog for the walk at 5:45 in the morning. So you just kind of fit it in where you can.
Yeah, it sounds like you find the nooks and crannies perfectly, and that you utilize them in a very positive way. Like some people, and I have nothing against TV. I have my favorite shows, and it's really great family time for us because then we talk about the shows, and we later we'll laugh about something, and of course it's culturally cool too because then you have something to talk to somebody about. Like, did you see the latest episode of whatever, and what did you think about all that? But it's good cocktail conversation. But what I love is that when you find that those few minutes, maybe it's just a 15-minute block, you're just not mindlessly sitting, staring at the TV. You're reading, you're listening to a podcast, you're walking your dog, you're doing something that's actually going to regenerate you and make you a better person. And you spoke about that earlier in our conversation when you talked about you had to do more than just medication, more than just gut health. You found the personal development. And I think that that's what a lot of people don't understand is a lot of us, my personality is like this too. We put all our eggs in one basket and then we're like, why didn't that work? Well, because that's not reality. We have to understand that we need to look at life and there's many facets of health. And we need to look at all of those, just not the physical, not just the spiritual, not just the emotional, not just the financial. So I really appreciate you sharing that because that really is an important concept. And I think it's important for people to see that they can do it, that if they look for the nooks and crannies, that it is possible because you're a really great example of that. Before we close, is there anything else that you'd like to share that we didn't touch on already or that you think might help moms this week or down the road?
I think we touched on a lot. And I will say, through my personal growth journey, reading books and podcasts, that's what's been key for me. I find little quotes that help me, and they become like my little mantra. And so when I start to get, feeling overwhelmed or anxious or sad, I kind of have those things on repeat in my head, and it just kind of helps me get through it. So I don't know if that would be maybe something that would help somebody else also. But just find those little quotes. Like one of my favorites is "You are enough," because
so simple, but yet so powerful.
It's very common to feel like you're not enough.
Mm-hmm. And it's letting people down because that list didn't get finished.
Yes.
And I think that it's super important for people to realize that it is that simple. Maybe when we finish, if you wouldn't mind, if you went back into the comments and maybe put your favorite podcast or two in there, or a couple of quotes that have really helped you. And then I would love if everybody else who is watching this would do the same thing because that's this community. That's how we lift each other up. And, something that really spoke to you may also speak to someone else. And the ripple effects can be amazing.
I hope so.
Yeah, me too. That's why we're doing this, right? And I can't thank you enough because I know that it takes, a lot of vulnerability to open up and share, especially on a platform like this. You're not just talking one-on-one with a friend. So you're being so brave when you step up and you tell your story, Kelly, but I know your heart after knowing you for several years. I know you do it because you truly, well, first off, you've been there and you don't want anybody else to suffer if they don't have to, but you truly know that for many people there is a better way, not just for you, but again, that ripple effect for your children, for your spouse, for your family, your extended family, friends, coworkers, and that's what this world needs right now. Whether you have sadness or you have an autoimmune disease or whatever, if you are your better self, then everybody around you is going to benefit. So I love celebrating moms, and in June maybe we'll celebrate dads. But I think that I'm hoping that it's going to be a good thing for everybody. And I appreciate you so much, my friend, for sharing with us this morning.
Oh, well, thank you for letting me share.
Absolutely, and thank you for your patience in helping me get the technology worked out. I think hopefully we've got it all done. So let me know, folks, if you're watching this, let Kelly or I know if you have any questions. You're welcome to put them in the comments below, and we'll answer them. We'll keep an eye on this. If you have a personal favorite quote, affirmation, podcast, book, would love those in the comments as well. So thank you guys.